What's up? It's Reverend Meggus. We're going to do a little check-in on the energies and see what we need to address. Thanks, folks, for being here so much. To everybody who's followed, to everybody who's left beautiful comments lately and wonderful messages of encouragement. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for everybody. We are a small collective, but we are mighty. And we're a small collective for reasons. A lot of us are going through some pretty big transformations at this moment, and it's not an easy task. It's not an easy task, and there is a lot that is being challenged that we're not very comfortable with. And as I was putting this together, I found this little card, which is it's a very old Healing Angel Protocol card um, from 2018, I think, and it's one of my favorites. And it says, "Every experience is a rich experience and not to be judged as bad or good." I've said that before. It's something that the angels try to impart to folks and help you all understand, and it is a hard concept to understand. Every experience is a rich experience. When we start labeling things as right, wrong, good, bad, this, that, instead of looking at it as simply an experience, we do ourselves a little bit of a disservice. Every experience is a rich experience, and we have the ability to use those experiences to grow, learn, transform, and become even better. We also have the ability to experience things as they come up for whatever reason, and also simply acknowledge and let them go when it's time to let them go. Discernment, of course, is important with all of that. We have to be willing to sit with those experiences and sit with our thoughts and feelings in order to determine and decide if this is something that we need to sit with more or if this is something we simply need to release. And a lot of that is coming up in the collective in terms of what it is that needs to stay and what it is that we need to get rid of. So there is some accountability that we need to take with ourselves. And please, if this does not resonate, then it probably isn't for you. But what I see here in terms of accountability is that we had big, grand ideas about what we were going to do and where we were going and what it was going to look like and what we were going to achieve. And that isn't where we are right now. It's been a very mental process, too. I think that a lot of folks in this particular collective were very led by their head and their ideas, and not necessarily by their intuition or their heart, following an idea that seemed solid. But the accountability that we need to take is this really going in the direction that we want it to? Is this taking us somewhere that we want to be? Um, and the truth is, I think a lot of folks have felt like they're drowning in responsibility, drowning in effort, drowning in tasks, drowning in things that need your attention. We've got this king of arrows inverted with this kingfisher, and I swear, like upside down here, it looks like he's just floating under the surface of the water, not able to see the bright light of spirit there in the sky that's shining right down onto his heart. He's upside down and flying in the wrong direction. And the accountability that we need to take here is for ourselves. Is this something that we went along with because we thought it would be fun and exciting? Is this something that we were tempted into by somebody who told us it would be better than it actually turned out to be? And are we sticking with it because we are still waiting to see that payoff that has still, as of yet, has not appeared? We've got this Knight of Bows here. And he's laughing and he's smiling, but he's also very strategic. And there's a lot of cunning and manipulation happening here. And I feel like it's really funny because I'm seeing this clearing behind, and then there's like a little plant that looks like lavender right there. And so it's like this little fox says, "Oh, doesn't this look nice? Doesn't this look nice? Look at this beautiful sun. Look at this clearing. Look at this lavender plant. How nice and happy and relaxed and blissful it will be. But we can't go through this way. We have to go through this way, through the thicket. We have to go wandering and winding through these woods." And I feel like that was slightly, well, that was on purpose, as a way of deceiving you, as a way of tricking you into putting in more effort, doing more things than you needed to or than you wanted to. And you are still wanting to get to that beautiful clearing with the lavender and the sunshine and the fresh water. But for whatever reason, you're still following this fox who just wants to lead you on a wild goose chase, as it were. And this is something that we need to start being accountable for. Are we letting others lead us astray? Is it because we don't trust ourselves or our own judgment? Did we decide to follow somebody else because we thought that was the wise thing to do? And with the King of Swords in the reverse here, sort of drowning, I think you're all mixed up. And there is some accountability here that needs to be taken. And it's not just, hey, I followed this manipulative fox who just kind of led me around and spun me around, and now I'm all confused and I don't know where I'm going. It's because you didn't follow your true calling. You weren't listening to yourself. You chose to follow this fox who showed you this beautiful vision and showed you this beautiful clearing and said, "We're going to get there." And you believed it. And instead, you've ended up drowning, not able to connect with the divine and really see and reorient yourself back to your path, not somebody else's. And so there is accountability that you need to take for yourself and where you have ended up because of your choices here. Resilience is right here in the middle. And the stag, which is justice in this deck in the Wildwood Tarot. You can think of that as justice. We have two. You are more resilient than you think you are. You have more ability to get through this and move through this and do this on your own than you think you do. You're tired. You've been drowning. You need some rest. You need some space. You need some room to recoup and go in a new direction. But there is a direction that you've been going that isn't for you. Now, justice is kind of here saying, yeah, this needs to come to an end. And this is an authority here. And I think as we've been chasing this little fox around the woods, and yes, I speak in a lot of metaphors because it's wisdom. We're doing collective readings here, so I'm not going to be giving specific details when it's for a lot of people. It is as it resonates. So if you would like a personal reading, though, those definitely get more detailed and more personal. Visit my link tree, which is right here. And I offer booked readings and also readings by email. So there are some people that are asking you to put a stop to this. There are some people that are saying this is not the way to go. And the reckoning is here. And I've certainly talked about that in a few readings recently, where things are a reckoning. But I think we're at this point where people around us are starting to say, hold up. This is really not working. And it's time for something different. And some of you seem to be really hesitant to do that because you don't think you have the ability to start over. And I'm telling you that you do. The moon on water here. And who's standing there in the light of the moon next to the water is this big, beautiful bull, this beautiful bastion of strength, of steadfastness. Even though the cranes are going in the other direction, he still looks out on the water for those answers. And you're being called to look inward, not outward, for these answers. You're being called to reflect inward. And that accountability is about looking at how you really feel about what's happening, not how you want to appear to others, not if I do something else, is this going to make so and so or these people look at me in a weird way? How is this going to make me look? It's going to make you look like you made a different decision for yourself. That's better and more aligned with your truth. If that's what your intention is. But I don't know. I'm not quite sure if you're there yet. Because I keep hearing this phrase, sunk cost fallacy. It's like, I can't let go of this. There is a lot of shame and disappointment and worry and fear all clouding this and preventing you from looking at if this is really in alignment with you and who you are. But this is something that needs to come to an end. You have been all over this forest, and you are not getting any closer to that clearing. You're not getting any closer to it. You are being led astray. And it is time for you to go within and examine the choices that you've made and figure out what the aligned path is for you. Now, I love that there's this beautiful labyrinth in front of this tree. Of course, you've got the gate here. Before you go through that little door, before you go through that little gate, you need to spend some time thinking about it. And of course, what do we do with a labyrinth like this? Well, we walk it. It's a type of meditation. You follow that path. You go within. You spend some time considering that direction, the path that you've taken so far, and you work your way through and you work your way out of it before you make another leap into the next big thing. There is a need to take some time to pause, and I'm seeing all four seasons, right? In the leaves of this tree as well. Take some time to pause and really gauge what this has done over time, what this has brought you over time. What are the gains? What are the losses? But most importantly, what you can take from it. Because this is coming to an end and it needs to come to an end. It is not getting you anywhere. You are so very nervous about this because I think outside forces are going to say this or that. People are going to look at you this or that way. It's a failure. It's giving up. It's not. It's making a better choice. It's saying this isn't working. I'm going to do something different. Or this isn't working and I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do next other than spend some time really thinking about it because I rushed into this decision too fast and I was led astray by some beautiful, lofty illusions that never came to pass. Time to reassess not only where you're going, but how you're feeling about letting go of it, how you're feeling about bringing this to an end. The woodward is strength. And in this deck, in the majors, you've got the 8 and the 11 flipped, which happens in some decks. But this is about strength. This man has been through it. But he's very wise because he's been through it. He knows he knows where he's been. He knows where he's going, and he has allies that help guide him along the way. And he listens to them. And those allies may not be who you think they are, because I think some of those that you've considered allies have actually been the ones leading you astray. It is definitely time to reassess who is giving you strength and giving you guidance, but letting you make those decisions, and who is simply leading you astray. It's time to reassess what you're doing to take care of yourself, because it is time for some healing and to put down that spear and to stop fighting so hard. We've been fighting and we've been trying and we've been scrambling and we have been weighed down with everything to the point that we're drowning and we can no longer see the guidance of the divine. We're no longer clear on that path, on that way out that is literally right in front of us. And that's because our mind is swirling with all of these things. What will they think? What will this person think? Will it make me a failure? Will it do this? Will it do that? What's good? What's bad? Coming to an understanding of what your heart really wants is a positive thing. It gets you going in that right direction. But if that requires halting where you're going and putting that to an end, sure, somebody might think this or that about it. But who are you really working for? Are you working to please other people, to make other people happy with the decisions and choices that you're making in your life? Your life, no one else's. Your path, your soul, your heart's desires should never be determined by somebody else's opinion. You are not beholden to anybody else's satisfaction or agreement or approval when it comes to reaching your goals and your dreams and doing what it is that you want to do. Maybe you're not so clear about that right now, and that's where the reassessment needs to come in. Start thinking about that. This is a lot of what this retrograde and this eclipse season has been about. This little guy keeps coming up. 9 of bows. Respect. Who's been through it? Somebody around you has been through it. Somebody around you has been through it, but is still walking that path forward. When we think about that Woodward, he's also been through it, and he has a lot of guides around him, a lot of allies on his journey. This one just kind of goes along, and there's a lot of respect for being able to do that. Gathering, I naturally draw people, objects, and experiences that are meant to be in my life. I think one of the hardest lessons to learn is that not every experience, not every person, not everything that we attract is meant to stay in our life. It is meant to be in our life. We learn lessons, we grow, we change, we expand, we gain understanding. Sometimes we learn what not to do. Sometimes we learn who not to be around or who not to listen to. But there is a wisdom there that we can glean from every experience, whether it feels good or it doesn't feel good. And that's where angels really want us to look. Not, is it making me happy? Is it making me sad? But what is the point of growth? What is the lesson in this? Because it's not just meant to smash you down because you made horrible choices in life. That's how you feel. It's meant to awaken you to the things that you don't want so that you can choose the things that you do want. But you have to be willing to put one foot in front of the other and keep moving down that path, even when it's difficult, even when you're the only one on it. And maybe you leave that manipulative little fox in the woods and you start fighting your own way out to that clearing full of sunshine and lavender and peace. If that's where you want to be. But you have to let go of the ideas and expectations and beliefs and approval or disapproval of other people whose little words in your ear have only gotten you here in this place of the necessity of change and ending. And we are really being called at this time to put things to rest, coming into alignment with our true path, with our true selves. We have the choice. We don't have to come into alignment with that, and we can keep living the same mundane, drudgery, workaday life that we've always lived. But we have an option to come into alignment with our greater selves and put aside, I don't like that analogy, but I'm going to say it because it's in my brain, and put aside our childish things. Put aside our childish things and step into the world with wisdom, with growth, and with the understandings that we've learned over time, and begin to apply them. Integrity. I lead with my values and they guide my path. What are your values? This is a big lesson that I have learned this year. When it comes to the people, places, situations, and things that you want around you, it's not so much that they should be similar to the things that you like, or that, aesthetically pleasing, or hey, we share the same interests, or hey, this looks fun. It's about values. What is it that you truly value? What is it that really drives you deep down inside and helps you keep moving along that path even when it's difficult, even when things are hard? That's integrity. Integrity is saying, I'm doing it anyway, even if it's not easy, even if it's letting go of something that we didn't necessarily want to let go of, but hasn't been working for our highest and best in a while. And these aren't answers that you can find by talking to other people. These are answers that you're going to find by going within and getting honest with yourself about where you want to be, what you want to see in your life, and how you want to feel. Because right now you're drowning in a lake thinking you're flying through the sky. And when you were dragged through this thicket with the promise of this beautiful, peaceful land that you never got to. Time to get another direction going. Time to figure out another way. Time to take the lessons that we've been given and learn and grow and release them and move on to our next phase of the journey. Thank you all so much for being here. And if you would like a personal reading, you can visit that link tree, which is in my bio, or you can visit theowlandthewolf.com. I hope you all have a wonderful evening. Love you so much.